Today we're going to be trying out the infamous Scovillain team featured by Michael Zhang to almost make day 2 at the North American International Championship that features Scovillain, Chesnaught, and Double Bikes. Let's see how it's going to perform. This is definitely an interesting take on Double Dragons with Koraidon, Choice Scarf Miraidon, Spicy Extract Scovillain, and the Electric Sea Chesnaught. Let's break it down. First up, we have the Clear Amulet Koraidon, preventing the Koraidon from getting stats lowered with the Orichalcum Pulse that's able to summon the Sun and boost up its physical attack damage output with the Fire Terror type, a good offensive typing because of fire moves being powered up, but also a good defensive type against super effective ice and fairy type moves. Collision Course, the strong fighting type move, the Flare Blitz that's able to wreak havoc because it is a really strong fire move after all of the multipliers. Flame Charge gets boosted by the Terrifier slightly. Then there's the Sun that's involved, including the attack boost, so it's able to hit pretty hard, but also be a way that Koraidon can boost up in order to become a really massive sweeper. And then Protect to keep itself around. The EV spread is 28 HP, 252 attack with an adamant nature, 4 in the defenses, and then 220 speed. Across the board, Koraidon's able to do a ton of damage. Clear Amulet that we see is able to prevent Intimidate drops, but also has an effect with Scovillain that we'll see, and it is able to do a lot of damage, outspeed threats across the board. Really good coverage, brings out the Sun, which is useful for itself and the partners. The interesting thing about this Koraidon is it is running max attack, but also the fact that it is also pretty fast. However, this speed on the Koraidon is 1 point slower than Whimsicott. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not. Otherwise, there's not really anything super important in that speed tier anyway. Like the fastest Pokemon really would be like Tornadus and base 111s, but that outspeeds it by a few points. So maybe it's like a speed creep number, or if there's something specific for a flame charge number that the Koraidon might be able to outspeed. But across the board, it is just a very offensive Koraidon. Do a lot of damage. That is basically the goal of this monster. Next Pokemon we have is the Focus Sash Scovillain to keep itself around for one hit with the Chlorophyll ability, which doubles the speed while the sunlight is up, with the Ghost Terror type to help out against the Fake Out and the extreme speeds, with the Overheat, Rage Powder, Spicy Extract, and Protect. So Overheat, really strong fire type attack that can do a lot of damage, especially with the sunlight that Koraidon summons. Rage Powder for redirection, of course, is really strong. And then Spicy Extract, which is the interesting move here. It's a signature move on Scovillain, and this is the reason why you pair it up with Koraidon. So what Spicy Extract does, it targets one Pokemon. It does boost the attack stage by 2 stages on the target, but it also lowers the defense stage by 2 stages. However, what's interesting is when you have Clear Amulet, you can take advantage of the attack boost that it gets. However, because of the Clear Amulet, the stat won't drop. So the reason you have the Scovillain paired with the Koraidon, with Chlorophyll, it's faster than the Koraidon, so you're able to go for that Spicy Extract, get the attack boost, not have to worry about the defense boost because of Clear Amulet, and then Koraidon's just a +2 sweeper, especially with a Flame Charge boost afterward, that's able to wreak havoc. You could also use Spicy Extract on your opponent in order to lower the defenses for a setup later for Koraidon to sweep. There's quite a few ways you could utilize it, so it's a really interesting way to use Scovillain next to the Koraidon. Across the board though, the EV spread, otherwise it's just max speed, max special attack, and 4 HP. Not really much to say, just have it be fast, which is the goal here. And the Scovillain will still be able to outspeed the Koraidon with the Chlorophyll boost, even if the Koraidon gets a boost from Flame Charge. So it is still able to outspeed +1 Koraidon, so you can still go for that Spicy Extract later in the game, which is pretty important. Next Pokemon we have is the Choice Scarf Miraidon to make it go even faster with the Hadron engine, which is able to summon the electric terrain and boost a Miraidon's special attack damage output, with the Electric Terror type to get rid of its dragon weaknesses, as well as just power up the electric type moves that Miraidon can go for even further, with the Volt Switch, Electric Drift, really strong electric type moves, Snarl, which is able to help out against Pokemon like Lunala, Calyx Shadow Rider, all those special attackers, including opposing Miraidons, and Draco Meteor, of course, for the really strong hit. Otherwise, across the board, it is just a max special attack and max speed Miraidon with a modest nature to get the maximum amount of damage output that you can have. And yeah, Choice Scarf Miraidon is really interesting, but it is just a way that you can guarantee not having to play around the Miraidon speed ties. You still have the Hadron engine that's able to boost up its electric type moves as well as the special attack in general. So you're still able to threaten a decent amount of hits with the Draco Meteor and the electric type moves. And of course, being able to outspeed Calyx Shadow Rider, a really strong reason why a lot of players are using the Scarf Miraidon to outspeed Calyx Shadow Rider, to outspeed any of the base 135s, not have to worry about a speed tie, but also just never have to play the opposing speed tie between Miraidons and just be able to dress a Draco Meteor immediately, or a fast Volt Switch that you know that you're going to be going off first, unless they're also Choice Scarf Miraidon in that case. Next Pokemon we have is the Electric Sea Chesnaught to give it a +1 defense boost in the electric terrain with the Bulletproof, which is able to make Chesnaught immune to certain moves, especially Ball and Bomb type moves, with the Terra Steel type. That is of course really good against super effective fairy coverage moves, as well as super effective ice type moves like the Glacial Lance, with the moveset of Leech Seed, Wide Guard, Body Press, and Spiky Shield. We've seen Chesnaught do well a few times at Scarlet and Violet events, especially Gen 9, but this Body Press set is able to do a lot because that Electric Sea gives +1 to the Chesnaught, has a pretty good physical defense stats, so it's able to do quite a bit of damage with that same type of attack bonus Body Press. The Leech Seed that is able to chip away at opponents, which can be very useful. Wide Guard, which is really great because it makes the Koraidon Miraidon not have to worry as much about Glacial Lands, because you do have 3 Pokemon that are weak to ice, and when you think about it, you also don't have a single resist on this team, so Chesnaught's really able to help out against the Glacial Lands Calyx Ice Rider. You have that Leech Seed, which means you're able to stall out to the Calyx Ice Rider in a 1v1 scenario, unless they're Terra Grass. But in general, this Chesnaught is able to do quite a bit of damage to the Pokemon like the Incineroar, the Terapagos, which can be a little bit annoying at times. And yeah, you have quite a few things that the Chesnaught that is able to just support the team with Wide Guard because of really strong spread moves in general. Spread wise, a good amount of HP, 228, gives it a number divisible by 16 for Grassy Terrain Recovery if you do fight opposing Rillaboom and they do bring it into Miraidon. The 220 in defense gives an extra stat point to its physical defense stat, and then just running a bit of extra speed in order to be able to outspeed like no speed Incineroar, for instance. And yeah, that is what this Chesnaught's able to do a good amount of damage with the Body Press, sit there and protect the restricteds with the Wide Guard and the Leech Seed that's able to stack up. It is an interesting defensive support tank. Next Pokemon we have is the Eviolite Clefairy with the Friend Guard ability that reduces the damage that the partners do receive with the Ground Terra type, which is mainly to help out against Miraidon and make sure that if they decide to Volt Switch, they will absolutely regret it, with the Follow Me After You, Protect, and Life Dew. So this is a full-on support Clefairy with the Eviolite. We do have the Follow Me, of course, redirection, which is just really good, especially with that Friend Guard to help reduce the damage from spread type moves. The After You, which is really helpful because Clefairy is one of the slower Pokemon in the format, and a lot of the Pokemon are usually like base 50 Trick Room, like Calyx Ice Rider, Ursaluna, and Iron Hands. The Clefairy, if it is in Trick Room, is probably one of the slowest things on the field. The only other Pokemon is usually like Torkoal and maybe a Mungus. Otherwise, you could generally go for an After You with your partner, and then your Koraidon Miraidon will be able to move first, which is something that could really help out to play around Trick Room. Life Dew for recovery is really nice because it heals 25% of both itself and the ally, which can be very useful at times. And yeah, Friend Guard is just always a great ability. This Clefairy is just max HP, max defense to take on the physical hits, and then 4 special defense remainder with 0 speed IVs and a negative speed nature, because again, it wants to underspeed things under Trick Room because of the After You, and there really aren't other situations other than maybe a fast Life Dew, but generally shouldn't really matter too much in those cases. Final Pokemon is the Indeedee Female with the Psychic Seed boost that gives a +1 special defense boost while in the Psychic terrain that summons from the Psychic Surge ability, and the Fire Terra type that is able to just help out against like Fluttermane, Chi-Yu, against opposing Sun, with Helping Hand, Psychic, Follow Me, and Protect. Yeah, I guess just having, if you didn't need more redirectors, why not have a third one? And it's interesting to see the Indeedee otherwise. It's able to be a normal type, which means you have an immunity to Calyx Shadow Rider, which is always appreciated. Psychic is able to chip away for some decent damage with the Psychic Terrain boost across the board. If you need to reset terrain, or if you need to shut down opposing Miraidon terrain, then the Indeedee is able to be more helpful here. The EV spread across the board is just max HP, a good amount of physical defense to be able to take on the physical hits because you have the Psychic Seed boost to boost the special defense already. And yeah, this is an entity that doesn't carry Trick Room. It's just Protect, because you do have after you Clefairy, that is generally going to be one of your answers to Trick Room. You have Wide Guard on Chesnaught, so you don't really need Trick Room on the entity unless you want to set up. But at the end of the day, you're running a really fast restricted duo with Miraidon Koraidon, so you don't really need to go for Trick Room unless you need to reverse your Trick Room. But again, you have other tools, so you can run Protect and just be able to scout for moves, for instance, across the board. Mainly just being a immunity to Calc Shadow Rider after Barrage, I think, is just very helpful here. So how to use the team across the board, a lot of this is just mainly gonna be your restricted Pokemon as always, but the Koraidon is probably the superstar of the show here, because you are boosting it with the Scovillain Spicy Extract to do as much damage as possible and make Koraidon a sweeper. That's why Miraidon with that Choice Scarf is able to help out against like Calc Shadow Rider and threaten it with faster attacks, which can be pretty good, because otherwise it'd be able to threaten the Koraidon naturally. You have Friend Guard, Clefairy with Life Dew that's able to heal the Koraidon and help it stick around for a bit more. The Chesnaught with the Wide Guard, so you're able to switch into Glacial Lances and not have to go for the Terra immediately, which can be helpful. And the Scovillain's also, again, able to set up but also redirect, and the entity's also able to help out with some backup redirection. And against opposing Miraidon, you can shut down that ability with the Psychic Terrain. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. And let me know in the comments down below, do you prefer hot weather or cold weather? Because it is very hot right now. It is summer and the heat is blazing. It's like 90 degrees outside, and I prefer cold weather. So even though we're going to be playing in the sun, I think I way prefer cold weather than hot weather. But let me know in the comments down below if you prefer hot weather or cold weather, because I've heard people like hot weather, which crazy to me. But let's get on and play some games. All right, we have Brute Bonnet, Koraidon, Incineroar, Ogerpon, Heartflame, Lunala, and Ursaluna. Interesting. Matchup wise, this is okay, although it should probably be Terra Water on the Lunala, I imagine, which doesn't make this that easier, because Trick Room is a little bit scary for this team. I mean, I do have tools like the After You Clefairy, which can help out a lot, but I'm not 100% certain. I do like Koraidon and I do like Scovillain. I think it is probably one of my best combos, mainly because the Spicy Extract will actually pay off in dividends here. So I think I'm going to do Scovillain plus the Koraidon lead. Back-wise, I'm thinking Clefairy for the Friend Guard. I'm just debating about, do I bring Miraidon or do I bring Chesnaught? I feel like if I'm bringing Koraidon, I'm already bringing the fighting coverage I need, and I don't really need Wide Guard on this. I think I bring Clefairy, and I think I bring Miraidon. And I think that's correct. I don't really need Entity. There's not really much that I need if I'm already bringing Clefairy for redirection. Friend Guard's more useful, as well as the After You. And I don't really like the Chesnaught here, because even though Body Press does do a lot of damage, it kind of overlaps on what Koraidon's doing for the strong damage output. We're going to see Lunala Ogerpon, which makes sense, versus my Koraidon and Scovillain. Okay. So I wonder if the Lunala has Moongeist Beam plus Meteor Beam, or is it just Moonblast? Because you want to assume it's usually Trick Room Wide Guard. I think I'm just going to go for a Spicy Extract and target down my Koraidon. And I'm going to go for the Collision Course into Ogerpon. If they go for Follow Me, the Ogerpon goes down because they'll get the defense drop. And if they decide to protect, I at least get boosted Koraidon. So I think that's always the play here. If they go for a Trick Room, I still have Clefairy in the back, so I don't think it's that bad. We'll see how the rest turns out, because a lot of this is just going to come down to, are they going to attempt for a Trick Room here? But we're going to see a Terra come out. I wouldn't be surprised. What Terra is this actually? Ogerpon in the fire. That's a shocking Terra for me, because I guess they're expecting the Flare Blitz. Okay. They are going to get the attack boost. Maybe they're scared of Scovillain getting attack off. We go for Spicy Extract to get the boost on the Koraidon. We won't be able to have defense drop because of the Clear Amulet. And then Collision Course will be able to knock out the Ogerpon. So I just got rid of one of their Pokemon for free. And that was a Mon that had Terra. So goodbye, Ogerpon. Immensely. Immensely good for my team. Okay. Okay. What did Lunala click? Trick Room comes out, which makes a lot of sense. Okay, perfect. Next is going to be Ursaluna, I imagine. Yep. Okay. Not surprised. Not surprised. Now we gotta play around a Trick Room. The question is, do I go hard into Clefairy, or are they gonna read that and double up my Scovillain here? I could also Rage Powder here, which is also pretty safe. Actually, yeah, I have no reason not to click Rage Powder. Yeah, I can just click Rage Powder here. Do I just Flare Blitz Lunala? Does +2 Flare Blitz get the KO onto Lunala? I don't want to Terra because then Earthquake is going to be a problem. I think we just go for a Flame Charge. Yeah, I think we Flame Charge so we can set up against opposing Koraidon in the later parts of the game. All right, we get the Rage Powder off. Let's see what attacks they have. Unless this is Dazzling Gleam, I should be completely fine here. They go for Facade immediately, which is cool. And they go for, yep, the Meteor Beam. Okay, perfect. So because we revealed a Meteor Beam here, this works out pretty well for me, as we will be able to break Shadow Shield. I could have KO'd the Ursaluna, but I don't think that's too bad. We're going to see that Meteor Beam come out with the Power Herb, KO the Scovillain, but that means they can't go for Meteor Beam again, which is nice. I do got to watch out though, because it is a threat, but I think this should still be pretty solid, as we are able to get the Flame Charge into the Lunala. Flame Orb going to active on the Ursaluna, but this is pretty good, I'd say. And now I can go out into Clefairy, and I can click Double Protect this upcoming turn, I'm pretty sure, to stall out a turn of Trick Room, scout for any protects. I think that works out. Yeah, because I do want to stall out this Trick Room, because my Miraidon's going to have a fun time once Trick Room is over, spamming Draco Meteor, especially because they don't have that Terrestrialization option. So we will go for Double Protect here. I'm curious on what they decide to click here. Ursaluna protects the scout for the After You, so I could have went for After You Flare Blitz in the Lunala, but that works out fine for me, as we will go for the Protect with our Koraidon. As Moongeist Beam comes out. Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm okay here. I think I go for the Ursaluna, because I'll live. The thing is, Moongeist Beam ignores Friend Guard. I'm pretty sure Koraidon could live one Moongeist Beam boosted though, so I'm gonna go for a After You into my Koraidon, and I'm just gonna go for Collision Course, because Lunala on these teams, I don't know if it's gonna have Protect, but then again, my Miraidon's gonna have a fun time once this Trick Room is over and it can come out. So I'm gonna go for After You Collision Course. We're see the Ursaluna retreat, which means I think they guarantee lose the game here as Koraidon comes in, but I'm pretty sure once I get the KO on Koraidon, I mean, they're saving this for, I guess they're trying to have a Mon. Well, I guess if Koraidon does go down to Moongeist Beam, I do lose this game, because then it's Ursaluna versus my Miraidon, and I'm locked into Draco Meteor here, so I guess that could be ugly, but I think I do live a Moongeist Beam here, unless we get the dreaded 4 or 5% chance. Yeah. Okay, perfect. I win. Ursaluna comes out. Sun's about to fade, but that's fine. I think I'm gonna go for a Life Dew and Protect. Yeah. I don't know if they have Earthquake. I mean, I think they could attempt to Protect again. They might KO the Clef. If they KO the Clef, it's perfect, because I think I guarantee win off that. But we will go for our Life Dew here with our Clefairy. Heal the Koraidon. Might as well. I guess I could have double protected, but I think losing Clef here is actually pretty good for me. Oh, wait, that lets Facade and Moongeist being double up, so good play on my opponent's end. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure that I'm guaranteed to win here, because the Miraidon's going to come in, threaten a, I think I go for Terra Electric Electro Drift, and I'm pretty sure that KOs the Lunala at the range of that, and then I just Collision Course the Ursaluna. I think this is pretty set here. If Terra Electric doesn't KO, I'd be very disappointed, but that Lunala already took a ton of damage from the flame charge from earlier, so I imagine this KOs. We go for our Terra Electric, we go for an Electro Drift, because it should be enough power to KO the Lunala, and then we go for the Collision Course into Ursaluna. They really should probably just try to protect the Ursaluna and last attempt Trick Room, but they might fear me doubling up the Lunala. But realistically, I think Miraidon just always KOs the Lunala with a Terra Electric Electro Drift in the terrain. I would hope so, because we have the special attack boost, we have the electric terrain, and I'm going for Terra Electric. Like, that's multipliers. Like, the Lunala's at what, like 65-70% ish. I'm pretty sure like I'm always KOing here. I'd be shocked if I don't KO the Lunala at this range with this Miraidon. And it is max special attack Miraidon, because we're modest max special attack, so I think they should always KO. They make the protect play, so I mean they are just banking on this Lunala survive. I just really don't think so. Terra Electric Electro Drift. Let's see. I'm pretty sure this always KOs. Yeah. And then we win the game, because now the Lunala goes down and the Ursaluna out of Trick Room. I'm sorry, but this is bear hunting season. This is bear hunting season. So Spicy Extract Koraidon able to actually put in a good amount of work thanks to that Clear Amulet. And yeah, like their Ogerpon, I think they were expecting like maybe me to go for like an overheat or maybe like a heat wave, but yeah, I was just able to boost up my Koraidon and do a ton of damage to them. Electro Drift, making sure I don't target my own Koraidon, in Collision Course. That's battle gonna be forfeit. Beautiful. After Clefairy was able to put in work too, and I'm actually surprised Clefairy lived a Facade. I know we're max defense Clefairy, but even then, like Ursaluna with burned guts, like it does a ton of damage. I'm surprised, but I mean Koraidon was just able to sweep thanks to Scovillain. It really was. Toxapex, Koraidon, Calyx Ice Rider, Rillaboom, Incineroar, and Fluttermane. Okay. Huh. What do I want to go against this? Because Koraidon's a little bit scary here, especially with Flutter, because I don't have the best damage dealers against both of those. I guess it would be combination wise. I would lead Scovillain plus Koraidon, have Clefairy back. I think this is that kind of game. Do I want electric terrain? Probably. Well, here's the thing. If I don't bring Miraidon, I probably get cooked by the Toxapex. I think I bring Miraidon. Yeah. If I don't bring Miraidon, I'm probably getting cooked by Toxapex. I think that's just how it's gonna go. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, gonna be the lead of Toxapex, Cali Ice. Sure. Kind of curious. Can I knock out Cali Ice with the Spicy Extract plus Collision Course? Maybe. Or should I just Flare Blitz? I should probably just Flare Blitz. I think they're Terra Fire on this team. Probably not. They have 2 fire types already. So we're going to go for a Spicy Extract into the Koraidon, and we're going to go for a Terra Fire Flare Blitz. I did go for Spicy Extract into my Koraidon, right? I didn't target the Cali Ice because the Clear Amulet gets screwed. I'm pretty sure I targeted the right slot, but sometimes I forget. It's a hot day today. It's like over 90 degrees over here. So let's see what they're gonna do here. We will go for the Terastization with Koraidon, go for the Terra Fire. I do have to worry about Haze, but I mean, Haze doesn't change anything here. Well, I guess it could be Terra Water. Are you Terra Water on this team? No, it's Terra Fairy. Okay, so Collision Course bad, Flare Blitz really good. Really good. So Spicy Extract will power up my Koraidon and give it an attack boost. So I should be able to one-shot the Cali Ice, which is beautiful. And then I don't know what Toxapex is doing. Toxic Spikes. But hopefully my ideal situation is to KO everything around the Toxapex quickly and then force a 4v1 or 3v2 or 3v1. Take a bit of recoil. They go for T-Spike, so that means Koraidon isn't taking any damage on the field, which is beautiful at the moment. And I still have my Sash on Scovillain, and I can go for a... Can I have one-shot Toxapex? Can I have one-shot Toxapex? Flutter Mane in. I can't do anything to Koraidon, though. I'm pretty sure I always Flame Charge and... Rage Powder. Yeah. The Shadow Ball's not going to do anything. They can protect a Flutter, I suppose. For what? Toxapex to go for anything, I suppose. That shouldn't change too much. They go for Protect, but I mean, like, if they Haze, it doesn't really matter too much. And I only really needed the attack boost to KO Cali Ice. They can't Terrasilize anymore, which is good, which means Toxapex is always threatened by my Miraidon back. So all I have to do is get rid of everything around the Toxapex. Go for Infestation, which is going to break my Focus Sash. All right. Perhaps Scovillain as well, but not that big of a deal. I think we go for the double up into Flutter Mane since it can't protect. I think I could live a Shadow Ball with both users anyway. So we'll see. They go for Shadow Ball. This isn't going to KO my Koraidon. Yeah, it doesn't. Although Infestation will. Maybe I could have Rage Powdered anyway into it, but I think I'm still all right. But we will KO the Flutter Mane in response. So Flutter Mane down, that's 2. And now it's Toxapex plus 1 more. I mean, this is fine, yeah. Infestation comes out in a Koraidon. I think I'm just going to go into Miraidon. Click Draco Meteor into the Koraidon slot and I'll be fine. Oh, Koraidon actually lives the turn. Okay. Oh, it's Rillaboom back. Wait, hold up. Does that change much? Not really. No, it does not. Well, I mean, I always go for an Overheat into the Rillaboom. And I go for Flare Blitz also into Rillaboom. It can only fake out one unless the Rillaboom is Protect, but they go for Fake Out, which means they're taking a bunch of damage from this Overheat from the Scovillain, and I think I should have this sealed then. Assuming I land Overheat, and I do land Overheat, so this should do a good amount of damage to Rilla. A bit less than I was hoping for, but at the end of the day, that's still good damage. They go for another layer of T-Spike, sure. We go out into Miraidon. We just spam Overheat and Electro Drift, I'm pretty sure, because I don't think these Toxic Spikes are doing nearly enough. And because we get rid of the grassy terrain, they won't have recovery, which is nice. How many times of Infestation do I have left? Probably 2, which is fine. I'm going to go for Overheat into the Rillaboom and click a Electro Drift into the Toxapex. I know Toxapex is like really likely to protect, but Rillaboom can't do anything. Yeah. Like even with the poison damage adding up plus the Wood Hammer, like I KO the Toxapex ideally before anything happens, and then like Rillaboom's still susceptible to, well, that's a start. I mean the U-turn, yeah, like it doesn't do any damage. Sunlight fades, so I do less damage. I'm kind of hoping that I could switch out Scovillain at some point. But yeah, I just spam Overheat and Electro Drift again. The only problem is I do have Clefairy left, and Clefairy is not the ideal last Pokemon to have in the end game because they can't do damage. But yeah, they also realize that the battle's gonna be forfeited. Even if they get another Spiky Shield, they probably need like 2 Baneful Bunkers, 2 more Baneful Bunkers, so a triple protect. And I think they need to U-turn crit as well. So I think that's like super unlikely. They might also have to dodge an overheat because I don't know how many overheats I'd get off. I'd get off at least 2 or 3 more. And yeah, it just seemed really unlikely that they would be able to win that one. Like realistically, I just don't think they would be able to. All right, we have Terapagos, Urshifu, Miraidon, Rillaboom, Sinistra, and Incineroar. Okay. This looks like a similar rendition of the team that Francesco has been doing really well with to get top 8 at NAIC. Was able to get, I think it was top 8 at the Bologna special event as well. But it has a Rillaboom, so running dual terrain. It's funny because we could have 3 terrains in this game. But I do really love Koraidon here. Koraidon's really good. If we are able to set up properly, it's fantastic. So it's the question of what am I leading here? Because Scovillain's not bad. I do like Koraidon. Chesnaught's not awful. Chesnaught is not awful because I can go for some Leech Seeds and Body Presses, which would really help out against the Terapagos. I got a lot of combinations I can go for. I think my ideal here is leading Miraidon and Chesnaught. Yeah, I like Miraidon and Chesnaught because Miraidon threatens their Miraidon, which is pretty big. And then I think I go with Scovillain plus Koraidon in the back. I don't want to lead the Sun mode, mainly because if I lead the Sun mode against Fake Out, gives their Miraidon a bit of momentum, which I don't like. And I'd rather set it up when Terapagos is already Terra'd and committed. So let's see what we can do here. Gonna be Incineroar Terapagos, which if I just let Koraidon, they were getting nuked. They were getting nuked here, but we do lead our Chesnaught and our Miraidon. And I think this is generally pretty fine for the most part. I imagine they're just gonna probably click Fake Out and Calm Mind here. They really don't have the best switch-ins at the moment. I think I just go for Snarl and maybe a Body Press into the Incineroar as we're just waiting, I guess, for switch 1, switch 2 load times. Okay, there we go. Terapagos does transform. All right, Electric Train going to be summoned and Intimidate going to go off. The question is, do I want to go for... So I could go for Volt Switch. I could go for Snarl. I like Snarl negating the Terapagos' damage output because if they decide, hey, I'm going to go for a Fake Out into Miraidon, I do probably get the KO onto Incin, which is a pretty big KO here. So I think I'd like the idea of Snarl. I don't really need to Volt Switch in this position because I'm willing to throw away my Miraidon realistically, just to get rid of the partners around Terapagos and just slow down Terapagos so it can't do much. Also, that is not Electric Seed. Oh no, it is Electric Seed Terapagos. I was about to say, where was the Electric Seed? But no, we just go for Snarl and Body Press into Incin. Pretty safe. We go for Fake Out and Chesnaught, which is fine, as we do go for the Snarl here, and that will break the Terra Shell on the Terapagos. So now it is vulnerable to my Body Press. So that is something because the Body Press from the Chesnaught will do a ton of damage to their Terapagos. So something they're going to have to keep in mind. We're going to see the Calm Mind come out from the Terapagos, which is cool. So they're basically back to neutral. I don't really care about the special defense increases because Miraidon is the only special attacker I did bring. I guess you can include Scovillain, but I don't really think it is. I'm just going to go for a Snarl, and I don't see a problem with just going for a Body Press into the Incineroar slot because this could be just like a Protect Terapagos angle, switch to Rila. And this is the thing that's really nice about this Miraidon. It's just slowing down this Terapagos where it just really can't do much, right? Because if they don't go for Calm Mind, they're going to be stuck at neutral. If they decide to attack, it's a -1 special attack, and the Terapagos is just not going to be able to do much damage here. So I just get to target down a really strong Body Press into the Incineroar, and they also have to respect the Body Press damage into Terapagos because it would actually do a good amount of damage to Terapagos as well. So, and if they do decide to go for Terastallization to get a lot of HP for the Terapagos, I mean, they play aggressive here. It does work out for them. I do get a Snarl off into the Terapagos and Incineroar taking more chip. Actually, the Snarl kind of has done decent damage to Incin, which is kind of funny. It's doing more than I expect. The Terapagos is going to get another Calm Mind, which is cool, as we are able to get a Body Press. We outspeed the Incineroar, and Incineroar goes down. So that's one less switch in that they have available to them, one less Fake Out mod. I do take a bit of Rocky Helmet damage, but right now this is looking really strong here. The Chesnaught's in a pretty decent position. We're probably gonna see Miraidon come in. If they go Miraidon, that's fine. I'm just gonna go for Snarl and maybe just Spike Issue with the Chesnaught, because then I could bring in Koraidon. But we're gonna see Rillaboom come in, which is interesting. Okay. They bring in Rillaboom for the grassy terrain, but I don't know what they're really doing here, because I'm just gonna spam Snarl and I might as well just get a Leech Seed off in the Terapagos. Yeah, I'm just gonna get a Leech Seed so Chesnaught can stick around. They might fake out my Koraidon. I don't know what they're gonna do here, because right now they really don't have much momentum. Snarl is just gonna be spammed here. I get Chip into Terapagos. I lower that special attack. If they decide, hey, I'm gonna commit a Terra Starstorm, I think Chesnaught can survive one Starstorm at neutral. Probably decently. Like, here's the thing, Chesnaught doesn't have the best special defense in the world, but it's a neutral Terapagos. I don't think it should do 75%. I mean, they could protect the Terapagos, but like, what are you going to do? Are you just going for U-turn, I guess? Like, I don't really think this gained them too much, because if they U-turn, they got U-turn damage. I don't think the U-turn damage builds up to anything, but we'll see. Yeah, they just went for U-turn into Miraidon, so like, okay, but did that really help you out with much? What's your final Pokemon? I assume it's their own Miraidon, but we'll see. Yeah, it's gonna be their own Miraidon, which is cool. Don't see a problem with just going for a Snarl. And do I protect Chesnaught, or do I just go on the offense? I definitely click Snarl here. I probably just Spiky Shield in case. Well, it should. I don't think it's Choice Spec Dazzling Gleam. It's probably a. Oh, Rillaboom might be Assault Vest, so they might have changed the Miraidon. I think I just go for Spiky Shield. Spiky Shield should be okay. Yeah, because I want to keep the Chesnaught around, because here's the thing. If they Draco Meteor into the Chesnaught, that means that I get 2 Snarls off in the Miraidon. I could also go for Terastallization if I want to. They're going to go for Terra on their Terapagos, but that's exactly what I want, right? They also got rid of the Electric Terrain, which was summoned. So the Miraidon's not really going to do too much. The Terapagos is now going to be vulnerable to me spamming Wide Guard as well. So I feel pretty okay with my situation right here. As we do go for a Snarl, we do land both, which is really good, especially into that Miraidon. But Terapagos especially helps. And we're going to see Reflect. Oh, Screens Miraidon. Huh. Okay. They go for Earth Power, which is cool because it's -1 Earth Power. I don't even think this KOs. Yeah, nowhere close. Nowhere close. And now I can just go for Snarl, and I'll go for a Leech Seed into Terapagos. Are they going to switch on to Rillaboom and click an attack? Like, that's fine. They're going to be -2 Miraidon or -2 Terapagos, which is cool by me, because I could set up a great position for my Koraidon to come in, and I could probably go for the boost if I really want to. Terapagos protects, but like, what's the Miraidon doing? It's stuck at -2. I don't think they're getting screens up. They're probably KOing the... I think they're KOing my Koraidon. We'll see. Oh, no, they don't. They just Volt Switch. Okay. Like, here's the thing. We played this long game, but this long game has not favored them. I've gotten the knockout instant, which was huge. Surprised they didn't try to go like Rillaboom earlier. And now I'm just going to be able to keep going for the same plays, right? I can go for a Leech Seed. I can go for a... I could go for a Leech Seed. I could go for a Snarl. There really is no punish here. Sure, they can fake out one. That's acceptable at this point. They can't make the same play of Protect and U-turn pivot. Yeah, like, I feel pretty good about my spots. Screens Miraidon's definitely an interesting one, though. We will go for a Snarl. We will go for a Leech Seed. I just don't see a problem with going for this play. I guess the thing is, well, I don't really care about the Reflect, right? Because when I get my... If I get my Koraidon next to my... If I get Koraidon next to my Scovillain, I'm just going to be able to go for a Spicy Extract and Flame Charge, and then Collision Course will probably still KO everything under the sun anyway. You go for Fake Out? Sure. You go for Earth Power to KO my Miraidon in case I went for Wide Guard. Cool. Yeah, now I think I'm completely fine because I just go into my Koraidon and I threaten huge amounts of damage. Is it like Clay Miraidon? No way. There's no way it's like Clay Miraidon. Trying to think about what the best course of action is. I could go Scovillain and just go for the... I mean, there's like a few plays I could go for. I could go Scovillain, and I could go for Spicy Extract into Body Press KO the Terapagos. But I'd rather set up the Koraidon. Like, I want to Flame Charge this turn, so I think I just go out and Koraidon, realistically. And I think I just go for a Flame Charge. How many times of Reflected they have? 2. I think I just Flame Charge the Rillaboom, swap into Scovillain. Because I don't think I'm really threatened by a KO on either slot here. I think they switch out Terapagos into Miraidon, which is completely fine. No, they switch out the Rillaboom. Okay. I imagine Terapagos protects because I'm not sure if you're going to risk it, but we'll see. We see the Miraidon coming in. I get the Flame Charge, and I'm curious if the Flame Charge puts you in range of Collision Course afterward. Villain outspeeds the Koraidon, I think, at +1, so I should be fine here. Oh, they played aggressive with Terapagos. Fair, but that works out fine for me. I do get the Flame Charge into Miraidon. They go for a Calm Mind, but I mean, it's kind of a bit late for the Calm Mind here. I don't want to protect my Koraidon because if I protect my Koraidon, they could go Rillaboom and that would be really bad. Also with Screens Miraidon, I really doubt. If this is Scarf, I'll be a bit upset, but I should outspeed even with +1. So I should be able to get the Collision Course into the Spicy Extract. And I'll target my Koraidon here. Yeah, it's not Scarf Miraidon, or at least I don't think it's Scarf. I could have protected this Tri-Stall out Reflect, but I have no idea what this this Miraidon is confirmed. We do get the KO on Miraidon with the Collision Course, beautiful, and I think that should be the game because I'm pretty sure that like my Koraidon will just clean up at this point. They're gonna go for Starstorm, but yeah, I mean, like here's the thing, the Starstorm's not doing too much. Yeah, because of the Snots from earlier, Leech Seed's going to recover on the Scovillain. So I think Chesnaught even just wins on its own at this point, because if Chesnaught gets in on the Scovillain slot, I just am able to wide guard spam, and Earth Power is not going to be able to do enough before Leech Seed just wears it down completely. So I guarantee the win. I also have Collision Course on my Koraidon, and it just does way too much damage. They are going to get Grassy Terrain Recovery, but I just double protect. We already know they're not sub because we revealed their full moveset of Terra, Starstorm, Earth Power, Calm Mind, Protect. So yeah, I just go for Protect and I protect you. Yeah, then next turn I can overheat the Rillaboom, go for Collision Course. And yeah, I can't see a way they can knock out Koraidon. Maybe Woodhammer crit into Grassy Glide, but even then, like I'd probably still be able to win realistically. Because Grassy Terrain's gonna recover, I think, out of the range, but we'll see. They're gonna go for Fake Out and Koraidon. Yep. And Calm Mind again. Doesn't really matter too much though. Air Power. Okay. But yeah, I'm just able to overheat the Rillaboom, go for Collision Course into the Terapagos. I think even if they protect Terapagos, they have to dodge the overheat from the Scovillain because it's an overheat in Sun. It might just nuke the... I think it probably nukes the Rillaboom realistically. Yeah, so I'm going to go for overheat and Collision Course. I'm going to be forfeit. Yeah, they also realize that they can't beat the Koraidon. The Koraidon is just too tough for them. They're going to be... I mean, Grassy Terrain turns, they do have a few, but the Koraidon is just too healthy. It's boosted. They just don't have a chance of really winning that game. So, very nice. Scarf Miraidon was able to put in work. A Chesnaught, the body press. A Leech Seed was able to kind of stall out a bit, get some good damage. KO the Incineroar. And then set up for a really clean endgame, which is what I want. Scovillain and Koraidon. after the Terapagos expended the Terra, so I didn't have to worry about the sun being removed and having awkward speed tiers. I guess like the only thing it was like a risk was reflect Scarf Miraidon, but I just really didn't see that being likely. Alex Ice Rider, Miraidon, Grimmsnarl, Incineroar, Urshifu, and Landorus Incarnate. This is probably, I imagine, the Utrecht special event winning team, which I never really like dealing with Cali Ice Miraidon, but we'll see what we can do here. We'll see what we can do. I mean, Chesnaught's good against this. Chesnaught's really good against this if I set up properly. I could set up a Scovillain game potentially. Rough. But it's possible. I think I'm just going to lead Miraidon plus Chesnaught, I think. Against this build, like, Chesnaught's really good here. I think Scovillain and Koraidon are correct as well. If I am being forced to bring Scovillain every game, but I don't think it's a bad mon here. Redirection's nice with the Focus Sash, and there is a potential possibility because a lot of these Pokemon are slow. If I'm able to get the Spicy Extract into the Koraidon, I think it's massive. The only reason I don't want to lead is because if they lead like Grim plus Miraidon, then they can just go for Reflect Electro Drift, and I don't think that's that great. So I think right now the best plan is to weaken their side by a bit, whether it's just chipping away the Miraidon slightly with Snarl or just threatening immediately with Draco Meteor. We're gonna see Cali Ice Grimmsnarl, so this actually works out pretty well for me. Yeah, because the Cali Ice, okay, I actually like this position because if I play it like I expect here, I should be able to just threaten Wide Guard and Electro Drift into the Grim. Now, if they have Landers in the back, it becomes concerning, but I think that's still probably a risk I'm willing to trade. What am I going to Terra? Probably the Koraidon, I imagine. Because I'm not going to Terra Chesnaught unless I'm absolutely forced to. I'm going to go for a... I Volt Switch or did I just Electro Drift? I think I'm just going to Electro Drift to Grimmsnarl and Wide Guard turn 1. Yeah, I don't think that's bad. Let's see if they lead seed immediately. This is probably lead seed Light Screen, I imagine. Light Screen gonna come out. Like, I'd rather have the threat of 2 Electro Drifts than I think Volt Switching immediately and revealing my hand of Scovillain. So Electro Drift gonna come out into Grim. Ooh, we get a crit. I don't like that crit, actually. I don't like that crit. I mean, they don't get Reflect Up, which is nice, but I don't think I like that. They went for Trick Room though, so this is probably not Miraidon coming in because they don't know the speed tier, so they're not safe. Okay. Incineroar coming in, sure. Incineroar on this team is fast though. So I don't, because they should be jolly. And if that's the case, I can always just Electro Drift the Incineroar and click Wide Guard. Yeah. Because the Wide Guard will go before the Fake Out. If they go for Flare Blitz, they're taking a bunch of damage anyway. Yeah, they go for the Fake Out, but the Chesnaught is faster than the Incineroar while under Trick Room. They go for a Glacial, but yeah, now I have a very safe position. Okay, perfect. The question is, do I Body Press the next turn or do I just Electro Drift again? I could go for either play. Incineroar didn't take that much, but I still think my best play is just to Electro Drift and Wide Guard. Or is to go Scovillain and just Body Press. They're gonna Glacial because they're forcing me to choose between Body Press or the Wide Guard. I think Scovillain's actually correct. No, Scovillain's actually correct in Body Press. Yeah. Into the Incineroar. So I get the KO on Incineroar. If the last Pokemon's Miraidon, they can only lock into one move, which is actually pretty good. And if they Elite Seat, this works out really well for me, but we'll see. I should live with Glacial naturally. We're going to see a Terra. This could be Terra Grass Incineroar. Does it live Body Press, though? I don't think so, because the Incineroar isn't invested in defense. Because this one's invested in speed. So I don't think it lives Body Press at +1. This is a really strong Body Press. Go for Glacial. Okay, Body Press. Yeah, I KO Incineroar because it's not a bulky Incineroar. So that means their Terastallization is gone, which is really nice. I'm feeling really good about my end game with my Koraidon, but we have to get there first. It is Miraidon back, okay. So we can double protect to stall out the Trick Room and scout for what the Miraidon's locking into, and then we can position from there. Yeah. So I'm gonna go for because they can't lock into Dazzle, right? They have to lock into Electro Drift, Draco Meteor, or Volt, but they're probably locking into Draco realistically. If they lock into Draco, I have a really clean end game. I think I have a clean end game. I think. Go for the attacks. Wait, they locked in the Dazzle? They just guarantee lose. They guarantee lose to Chesnaught. I just spam Wide Guard. Unless they change the Cali Ice have high horsepower, they just lose here. Look, I'm not crazy, right? I'm pretty sure I'm not. Unless I'm a Miraidon is not choiced, but you only really run Dazzling Gleam if you're choiced, or Assault Vest, I guess, if they change it to that. Maybe? I'm just gonna go for a Spicy Extract into the Cali Ice, and I'm gonna Wide Guard. Because they can't Leech Seed. I have 2 grass types on the field. Dazzling Gleam they're locked into. The only attack on the Cali Ice is Glacial. Yeah, they can't do anything. They can't do anything. I think I just go for Spicy Extract and set... Well, I guess the thing about going for Spicy Extract is, yes, I do get the defense drop on the Cali Ice, but I do boost its attack, which is a bit scary. But, I mean... just don't see how they're winning this. I should have probably just went for Overheat realistically. Although my best play here is just to swap out into Koraidon now and click Wide Guard. Yeah, no, this is fine. I'm pretty sure they're locked into Dazzling Gleam at this point. And like the Cali Ice, even if it has high horsepower, it won't knock out either of these Pokemon at +2. And then I threaten to knock out Cali Ice with Flame Charge. Dazzling Gleam, yep. Also, because Electric Train's over, I'm pretty sure if I Terastallize Koraidon, there's no way they can knock out my Koraidon. Let's see if they Leech Seed. They need to Leech Seed here. Oh, they just spam Glacial. But the Wide Guard Chesnaught just walls the Cali Ice. Which is why I was surprised. I thought they had to lock into Draco. I guess the thing is, I never revealed Terastallization, so if Terra Fairy Miraidon, it was cooked anyway. Like, they realistically couldn't win against Wide Guard Chesnaught when the Miraidon was forced to lock into move if I had Terra Fairy on the Koraidon. That's why I thought they were going to hope that I wasn't Terra Fairy and go for like a crit Draco. But yeah. Like, my plan was on the last turn of Trick Room to Wide Guard because Glacial Lance won't do anything. Rage Powder away to Draco Meteor, bring in my own Miraidon. And assuming I don't miss my own Draco Meteor, I should be fine. But even if I miss Draco Meteor, I should be able to win with my Koraidon with Terastallization. But yeah, I think we're good. As Flame Charge, we do outspeed the Miraidon, but I was just going for good measure. KO the Cali Ice. Again, it was -2 from the Scovillain Spicy Extract. We're able to KO the Cali Ice, and like, they're locked into Dazzling Gleam. Can't do anything. They can't do anything. Now we go for Collision Course into Miraidon. and that should seal it up here. So yeah, and we wide guard spam. I mean, I don't have to wide guard because I'm pretty sure that Koraidon just guarantees to win at this point. I also have a Scarf Miraidon in the back that can lock into Draco Meteor, and assuming it connects, it just also wins. There's like so many ways I could technically just win here, but yeah, I don't know. I think the start was just really good. Sure, like they could have had Reflected, but the thing is, like, I don't think it really truly mattered. It put me in an awkward spot because I think they could have positioned well offensively, which is why I preferred not having to crit. Like, I'd rather have to deal with screens, but I mean, I was still able to pilot through because they didn't bring like any really big heavy hitters. Like Incineroar, Jolly Incineroar's not doing too much damage, especially since I didn't have the Koraidon in yet. And there was no Landorus or Power I had to worry about, because Landorus or Power is like the Pokemon that's like really hard for me to hit with this team, because the only way I can knock it out really is with my own Koraidon. But otherwise, like, yeah, I had to go for like a Draco Meteor, and I don't think it KOs because that was a very bulky Landorus on the team. So yeah, surprised they're playing it out. I'm surprised they didn't forfeit when they locked in the Dazzling Gleam, but I mean, at the end of the day, I was just able to set up a really good end game win condition here. Collision Course is going to finish off the Miraidon, and that is good game. So very nice. Very nice. As we are able to take that. Beautiful. Yeah, Chesnaught putting in a huge amount of work. Didn't have to go for the Spicy Extract with Scovillain, but was still pretty clean. I think I should have went for Overheat anyway, but I didn't want to get like cycled where I miss Overheats, they Leech Seed, or not Leech Seed recovery, but Leftovers recovery. But yeah. Calyx, Ice Rider, Miraidon, Urshifu, Landorus Incarnate, Incineroar, and Pelipper. Huh. Alright, it's kind of annoying that they have Pelipper. Yeah, it's kind of annoying that they have Pelipper on this team. Wish I had my own water type, because their team is really weak to water. This is gonna be tough. I do like my own Miraidon. It puts in a good amount of work. Miraidon Chesnaught is actually probably pretty good here. I just wish I think Pelipper is definitely enemy number one. Also their own Miraidon, I guess I have to respect a lot too. I want to bring Clef, but I just don't think Clef is worth it. I think I bring Miraidon. I think I bring Chesnaught. I like the lead of it because it puts on a pretty good amount of offensive pressure. The Landorus, I mean, Earth Power is going to hurt, but like, I don't think it should be too bad. I think back-wise, Scovillain plus Koraidon's not bad. Yeah, if we're bringing Scovillain to this game, I need Koraidon. Clef and Indeedee don't really help too much. I mean, Indeedee can obviously go for the Psychic Terrain to shut down their own Miraidon, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Not having Clef is a little bit annoying because I would like the Friend Guard, but I don't think Scovillain's awful if I can set up for a really nice position for the Spicy Extract. Also having Rage Powder is still useful, but yeah, double restricted lead here versus Miraidon Chesnaught. Kind of curious on what they're going to click. I really just want to click Wide Guard here with Chesnaught. Probably Glacial. I could see Glacial Volt Switch. I could see Draco Meteor. I can see Dazzling Gleam. There's a lot that could go on here. Do I go for Draco Meteor? I could go for Snarl too. Snarl wouldn't be awful. But I think Miraidon's just way too important in this matchup. I think I'm just going to go for a Volt Switch into the Miraidon. And I think I'm just going to go for a Wide Guard. Let's see if they Terra anything. They actually hard switched a Miraidon. This isn't Landorus, right? I don't think you switch Landorus. You're a mad. You're a madman. You're a madman. Okay, okay. I gotta give my opponent respect for that. They Terra though. Alex Ice Rider into what? They're a fairy. I guess they were worried about like Specs electric move into body press. All right, that works by me. We get a Wide Guard to prevent Glacial. If they high horsepower, smart play. Trick Room. Okay. I don't know if they're gonna Glacial or they just high horsepower. I don't really have a safe switch. Good. I mean, they made an aggressive play, worked out. I wish I clicked Scarf Draco. All right, Scovillain, you're not really doing much under this Trick Room, so we will send you off. And I think I'm gonna Leech Seed. The thing is, I need to get rid of Lando, but I also got to respect the Cali Ice at the same time. I think we Leech Seed the Cali Ice because we get more HP out of the Cali Ice, and the Cali Ice is most likely going to be just staying in for the most part. So good play on my opponent's part. Luckily, I don't have to worry about Sludge Bomb with the Chesnaught, but I do have to worry about the Glacials coming out. I do have to worry about high horsepower Earth Power coming out into the left slot, but we'll see. They go for Seed Bomb. But Chesnaught bulletproof, ignores it. We do get a Leech Seed off into the Cali Ice. Okay. So Scovillain actually lives a turn. That's funny. That's funny. They don't know. They didn't know. Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. I'm gonna build up damage on the Landers and just body press the Landers. They're gonna switch out to Cali Ice, which is kind of cool because I don't have to worry about spamming Glacials. We're gonna see Pelipper come in. Oh, Koraidon. Interesting. Kind of curious on how fast the Landers is because that's such a big question here. Like, how fast is this Landers? Body press comes out. It's a pretty bulky Landers. That body press didn't do that much. So I assume that this is just a really bulky Landers. Gotta be careful, but I'm willing to just click Overheat into the Landers. And I'm willing to just Spiky Shield here because Chesnaught's so valuable because they have to respect it. So I will go for a Spiky Shield and I'll just draw off an Overheat in the Landers because if I can get rid of the Landers, that's huge. They go for Sludge Bomb, which is cool. It can't poison me because it's Sheer Force unless for some reason it's Sand Force Landers, which we have seen before on the channel. Overheat comes out into the Landers. Doesn't pick up the knockout, but is in range of Body Press, which is good. What does the Koraidon lock itself into? Goes for a Draco Meteor. Okay. So I'm cool with that because I can just go for a Rage Powder with my Scovillain and I can just body press the Landers on their slot. Because if they decide, hey, I'm going to go for a Draco Meteor, they're going to be -2 and they can't tear out of the situation either. So body press going to come out into Landers, pick up the knockout, and now Scovillain's going to be the one taking the Draco Meteor, which is perfect because that means the Koraidon's going down to -2, which is fantastic. Yep. Beautiful. All right, goodbye, Koraidon. If the Cali Ice is Trick Room, Seed Bomb, Glacial lands, the last move is probably Protect or High Horsepower. We don't have confirmation. Electric Train disappears, which is also excellent. So I'm going on to my Koraidon because I don't want to bring the Electric Train. I want them to force, like, what do they bring out last? Unless they go Pelipper, but I just don't think they're going to bring Pelipper here. Yeah, to bring Cali Ice makes sense to me. It has to be Pelipper's the last, right? Like, I just can't see you not having it. I will Terra Steel my Chesnaught, I think, though. Like, Terra Steel Chesnaught pretty much is in a great spot. I'm going to go for a Protect with Koraidon. And I'm going to go for a... Do I Leech Seed or do I Body Press? Probably just a Leech Seed into the Cali Ice once again. They switch out to Koraidon. I think they're going to go out into Pelipper if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Okay. So we reveal all 4 here. Perfect. The only problem is Koraidon. I need to set up Koraidon specifically to win. That's a bad miss. That's a bad miss. Okay, Trick Room comes out. That's a very bad miss. All right. Because I need a Chesnaught to have recovery. We're going to go Koraidon. We're going to Terra Steel and we're going to Wide Guard. This covers Glacial Lands. This covers Hurricane. Weather Ball I don't have to worry about because of Bulletproof. they can't touch my Chesnaught at the current moment with either of these Pokemon. I mean, Hurricane's the only move that can actually do damage, unless the Pelipper for some reason has Hydro Pump. They have Hydro Pump that screws me over, but let's see if it's Hydro Pump Pelipper, because most of them do run Weather Ball. We will go for the Terra with Chesnaught, go for the Terra Steel as the defensive typing, because this is the perfect moment to go for it. Let's see. Sweet Wide Guard. They go for Glacial, yep. And Pelipper probably just Hurricaning the... they could Hurricane either slot, but like it shouldn't do too much. Yep, okay, perfect. Tank it just fine. Don't really tank it super well. Oh, that's why it's a crit. I was about to say that did a lot more than I expected, but sure. Obviously, Pelipper is a threat. I'm trying to figure out something. I'm debating. I think Pelipper might protect and they swap out the Cali Ice into Miraidon. I'm debating about Raw going for a Draco Meteor. I could Volt Switch to Pelipper, but the problem is that they do make the Protect swap to Miraidon play. Kind of awful position-wise for me. I think I'm willing to go for a Draco Meteor Wide Guard. Ah, they stay in. I could have just Volt Switched. They go for Glacial again. Okay. That's kind of the thing of why I wanted the Leech Seed, because I'd be like, I'm pretty sure the Cali Ice would have been super inclined to switch if the Leech Seed. Yeah, they don't know about the Weather Ball tech. They don't know about the Weather Ball tech. At least the Cali Ice is now scared. They're hecka scared. I'm Draco meeting the Pelipper and clicking Wide Guard. They are hecka scared of my... They are hecka scared of my Chesnaught. But yeah, Weather Ball will be neutralized by the Bulletproof. They're going to go for Hurricane plus Seed Bomb, I guess, or Glacial. It's just so funny. The Bulletproof is just making this Chesnaught unstoppable right now. The problem is this Hurricane's adding up. Yeah. All right, we get the Draco Meteor off into Pelipper. Oh, this game would have been so free if it was if we hit the Leech Seed earlier. Let's turn of Rain. Trying to debate about how I can seal this as a win. Because Hurricane's just doing too much. I have to body press the Pelipper, but that means the Miraidon's exposed. I think I gotta sack Koraidon. I gotta go for a body press into Pelipper. And I think that's the only way here, unfortunately. I should have been counting Glacial Power Points, because if I counted Glacial Power Points, it might have been easier. But we do bring out our Koraidon. They should always Glacial here. If they Seed Bomb, they're throwing. Yeah. So goodbye, Koraidon. If I can live a Glacial with Chesnaught, this might be very doable. Because I should underspeed the Pelipper, get the body press off. Yep. So Pelipper goes down. Trick Room returns to normal. That's exactly what I wanted, because now I have a Choice Scarf Miraidon, which we didn't confirm the item on their Miraidon, but I'm assuming it's very likely to be Choice Specs. I think it is Choice by the way that they played the turn 1. So I get to threaten Draco Meteor into their Miraidon. The question is, can we live the +1 Glacial? It would have been so nice if we hit the Leech Seed earlier. Because I think I have to bank on it too. Because if I Wide Guard here, nothing changes and I probably lose on timer. I'm going to go for Draco Meteor and I am just going to Leech Seed because I need the recovery on the Cali Ice. The ways we lose are this is also Scarf Miraidon to Speed Tie. If there's Focus Sash or Assault Vest on the Miraidon. If we miss Leech Seed again. But again, a lot of this is just going to come down to do we live Glacial anyway. I don't know. They might also attempt a Trick Room. Because if they Trick Room, they throw here and I am able to win. Okay, we do land a Draco. We do KO the Miraidon. Super big. if we hit the lead seed and survive this next glacial, we win the game. That's the only thing that this game comes down to. Okay, we hit the lead seed. Huge. Did they trick room or did they glacial? I think they should always glacial here. They do. We live with Chesnaught. It just came down to that one leech seed, man, and also the crit, because if the crit didn't happen, we were also in enough HP to survive the glacial guaranteed, so we had the game locked for sure there. Unfortunate, but that is how the game rolls sometimes. Quite a bit unlucky, both, because if either one didn't happen, then it makes sense. Like, sure, I could have wide guarded, but the thing, actually, could I play on timer? I don't think I had enough your time. I think there's like 7 minutes in the match, so I'd be forced to struggle with Miraidon. I just don't know if I could play for your time. That's the only thing I think I could have done different, because I think I played most of the turns what I could have done it as the best potential state. I had to sack Koraidon that one turn. I had to go for the body press into the Pelipper. Maybe like the only other play was like, okay, I could have body pressed the Pelipper earlier, so it could have like been put in Draco Meteor range instead of going for that lead seed and missing. But if I had the recovery, I was probably like just pretty locked in, and also probably forced to switch as well from the Kali Ice into the Miraidon on their side, because I really didn't want to attack into protect and swap into Miraidon because it would have been dangerous. But it's just how it goes sometimes. Lunala, Incineroar, Miraidon, Rillaboom, Urshifu, Volcarona. Okay. Bit of a balanced team. Double terrain action. I probably would assume it's Calm Mind Lunala in that case. Electric Seed, Volcarona. That'd make the most sense to me. It could, of course, be just support Lunala with Wide Guard with Electric Seed, and then it's like leftovers on the Volcarona, which also makes sense. Don't want to go. I could lead Scovillain plus Koraidon, which isn't bad here. Too bad Chesnaught really doesn't do much in this game. Clefairy does. Entity might? Question mark. It's decent, but it's not like incredible. I think my best combo is probably like Scovillain, Koraidon. I think the only question is like how fast the Miraidon is on their side, because that's going to be a big question mark. And then in the back, I bring my own Miraidon plus Clefairy because I need the recovery. Yeah. No reason to really have terrain, psychic terrain. There isn't really anything that really stops other than, I guess, double fake out. But the thing is, like, I just am able to put on so much pressure utilizing Koraidon anyway, where the double fake out doesn't really truly matter. The only thing that really matters is the Lunala and the Miraidon, because how fast is the Miraidon is a really good question, as well as the Lunala. I'm not really too scared of Volcarona, but we'll see. Volcarona, Miraidon lead. Okay. Versus Scovillain and the Koraidon. They're fast Miraidon, and I mean fast. Okay. Did they vault switch my Scovillain? I don't think they would, but I think my play is just to draw off an overheat into the Volcarona immediately for the damage and protect Koraidon. I could double protect, so this could be greedy, but I don't want them to get a free Tailwind up, because if they get a free Tailwind, I think it's really unideal. We're gonna see a Terra come out from my opponent's side, which is interesting. Oh, are they afraid of Scale Shot? Oh, they're Terra Electric. Okay. Interesting. Terra Electric gonna come out. Did they go for Electro Drift into the Koraidon? They do Rage Powder. Okay, so that's to be expected. I do get the overheat off. It damaged the Volk. They did Electro Drift. Okay, so I feel like it's either Scarf or Specs if you make that play. And if that's the case, I have a few options. I think I'm going to go into my own Miraidon and just click Overheat. I like that, actually. I do like that a lot. Because the Volcarona is directed by Overheat. which means they also have to respect how much damage I do. I could attack here realistically. I could go for Flame Charge, but I think Terra Electric and the fact that they were fast indicates more to me it's Scarf likely. I want to bring on my Miraidon to take the Electro Drift. If they Draco Meteor, that's fine. They're going to Rage Powder again, which is perfect. Because I should get the KO and Volcarona here. Beautiful. Critical hit shouldn't matter. And then they're just going to go for Electro Drift into my Miraidon, which is freshly switched in. Perfect. Okay. They have... Oh, they target my Scovillain. Smart. I do lose my Focus Sash, which stinks, because I would have had a really good situation if I had my Focus Sash still available. Granted, this is still a pretty strong lead here. Kind of curious on who they're going out into. Lunala, probably? If it's Rila, that's fine. Incineroar. Not the mon I would have anticipated, but that works. Are they going to fake out Scovillain? I just feel like they should never fake out Scovillain. They also... they aren't Scarf Miraidon, or at least they're not like max speed Scarf. I'm trying to figure out what this set is. I guess it's specs based on damage, but I can't tell. I think I'm going to go Koraidon. And you know what? It would fake out... Yeah, I think I'm just protecting Scovillain. I think they should always switch out the Miraidon, because they don't gain anything. They get a free fake out into the Miraidon slot. I kind of wanted to go for Spicy Extract, but not going to risk it, I suppose. They stayed in? What did you do here? Did you KO the Scovillain? You faked out my Miraidon slot. Did you Electro Drift to Scovillain? Oh my god. Oh, that didn't work out how I wanted. I mean, this is still okay, but like... Yeah. If I went for Spicy Extract there, it was fine. I mean, granted, I could still easily win this, but that's not ideal. I should have Lunala back, and Incineroar should always switch out into Lunala. Am I overthinking about how this endgame works? I might be. Make turns of electric turn on left, 2. I think Incineroar should always switch. Well, they're not switching out. I could have Rage Powder Collision Course. I'm getting upset about me making the misplays, I guess. I mean, I thought Incineroar was always switching out here into the Lunala. Electro Drift into the Koraidon, sure. Did they not have Lunala back? I'd imagine you have to have Lunala. They taunt my Scovillain. Sure. I think I'm going to make a bit of aggression here. I'm going to go into Miraidon for the Koraidon. I'm going to swap out in a Clef. Because if they went for Parting Shot or switch to Lunala, what I was trying to do was break the Shadow Shield and then go for a Rage Powder like Collision Course. But that's not exactly how it's going to work out. This is still fine realistically. I can go for Terra Ground Clefairy to change this endgame. But yeah, this is not what I expected. Electro Drift. My Miraidon, perfect. Did they knock off double it? I actually would be very happy if they go for knockoff, because I would actually like to get rid of my item. That's actually really good for me. Okay, that's really good for me. Okay. Because now I can actually change up moves. Electric Train disappears. I'm just going to drop a Draco Meteor into Incin, and I think I'm just going to spam a Life Dew. Yeah. Get some recovery. They can't knock out my Miraidon. They can't knock out my Clef because of the Electric Terrain gone. I'm pretty sure. Are they just gonna stay into spam Electro Drift? I am. I mean, they have been, but yeah, they finally switch out the Miraidon. Is it not Lunala? Why didn't they switch out instant earlier? Because I thought they would be worried about like redirection collision course, but okay. Draco Meteor does some decent damage to instant. Is this parting shot or they just knock you off my... Okay, they go for taunt, which is fair. Okay, that's fine. I don't mind this one. I don't mind this one because now I can go for Snarl pretty comfortably. And I think I'm just going to sack Scovillain here. The fairy still has a lot of use in the end game, because if they go for Trick Room to try and get like better speed advantage against my fast dragons, then Clefairy with After You and Life Dew are just going to run shop. Snarl will reduce the damage that I take from the Lunala Moongeist Beam if they decide to go for it, which is cool by me. But yeah, Scovillain in. We land a Snarl, which is beautiful, and we lower that special attack Lunala, break that Shadow Shield. Okay. Problem is they still have resources, but this is still pretty ideal. It is Calm Mind Lunala. Okay, so I'm not super shocked by this. Okay. And then what does the instant do? Are you finally going to go for Parting Shot or something? No, knockoff. Okay. This is actually probably the best situation I could ask for. Yeah, no, this is the best situation I could have asked for. It is leftovers on the Lunala. Not surprising. I'm gonna go Koraidon and threaten the Flare Blitz into the Lunala slot and probably Volt Switch the Ensign. I could also Draco Meteor, which also works. I'm gonna protect to get the Shadow Shield, right? I mean, I've been trying to anticipate a bunch of the plays that they made, and they haven't worked out. I'm gonna Volt Switch the Ensign. And I'm going to Terrifier Flare Blitz the Lunala. This might not be the best play because, I mean, I don't think you're going to knock off here the Koraidon. I think you're going to just Parting Shot if you are going to make the play of protecting. But we'll see. They played aggressive so far, so we'll find out. I'm hoping to KO the Lunala here. But yeah, they just make the protect play. So I could have went for like Volt Switch plus Flame Charge to KO the Instant and it'd probably have been in a game-winning spot. I still think I'm okay here, though. Because I get Clefairy in, Friend Guard active is pretty good for me. But we'll see. Bring in the Clef. Flare Blitz will fail. Oh, wait, what? Clear Amulet. Okay. They're kind of trolling. They're kind of trolling here. I mean, that works out well for me because I can go for Follow Me and I can go for a Flame Charge into the Lunala. Yeah. That works out for me. Because we break Shadow Shield, we get the speed boost so we can deal with their Koraidon later. Good damage to the Lunala. Fantastic. Is this Moongeist Beam knockoff, I imagine? Yep, it is Moongeist Beam. Clefairy absolutely eats that because it's that neutral, right? And knockoff. Okay. Are you going to protect Lunala this time, or can I get the Flare Blitz off? Because Clefairy, like, Instant can't really do much. I am debating about Flame Charging Instant and Life Dew. It's really just going to come down to this kind of read, I think. I could Follow Me to technically make it safe, but I would rather have the recovery. I'm going to Flame Charge. Life Dew. Nice. Okay. Nice. I finally have gotten the Protect read. Beautiful. So I get the KO into Instant. I threaten a Flare Blitz into Lunala the next turn, and then I think I'm in a really good spot. All right, instant goes down. Are you helmet? They are not helmets, so I get extra recovery with the life dew. Beautiful. Okay. Does this extra recoil means I might be able to live the Miraidon attack? I might be able to live the Flare Blitz recoil on after KOing Lunala with Flare Blitz. Miraidon coming in. Are you discharge? I guess. Well, if you're discharged, you would just lose to my Miraidon, I think, in the end game. I'm gonna go for Follow Me, and I'm gonna go for Flare Blitz into Lunala. If they get a double attack, it's just gonna come down to a triple, I think, because I'm pretty sure they can't knock out Koraidon here. It would be annoying about like them spamming Dazzling Gleam here, actually. I mean, here's the thing. I don't think Terra Electric Miraidon runs Dazzling Gleam. So we'll find out. Redirection with Clefairy. Flare Blitz going to come out into Lunala. We should pick up this knockout. We get a crit. I don't think it matters. This is max attack. Koraidon and Sun with Terra Fire. It destroys a lot of things. It can knock out Iron Hands, for crying out loud. Take the recoil and Electric. Okay, so perfect. Unless they are max speed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're guaranteed to win this, because Flare Blitz will KO the Miraidon, and if they have Protect, then it will be interesting, but we still have Terrifier Flare Blitz. Also, we took a lot less recoil than I expected. All right, maybe I did complicate things, though I really think that instant switching out to Lunala on a potential Dread Collision course was the safest option, and I don't think it gained them too much momentum, so I'm still okay with that. We will go for Electro Drift into Flare Blitz, I suppose. This Flare Blitz should just KO, realistically. Like, I'd be shocked if Miraidon lives. It has to be Focus Sash Miraidon, right? Yeah, like it had to be Focus Sash Miraidon. But Miraidon goes down to the Flare Blitz. Koraidon, super strong endgame wise, and beautiful. Okay, complicated endgame. I think we had a really good start. The endgame was tricky, but we were able to get one of the Protect calls finally right, even though we lost like 3 of them. And then we were able to clean up properly with Koraidon, because we had to break the Shell Shield on the Lunala, which was the massive part, and we were able to get Lunala, which was big. Most of the games can be summarized with Koraidon and Miraidon just being really strong Pokemon, and Scovillain, of course, was able to support the Koraidon with the Spicy Extract, which was able to boost up the Koraidon's attack power and allow it to get some really powerful KOs. Overheat was also able to do some pretty good damage into Sun. The Rage Powder Redirection also was pretty useful in some cases too, and the Chesnaught with the Electric Seed was able to prevent the team from getting affected by the Glacial Lances from the Cali Ices that we played. The Clefairy was able to help out with the Life Dew to Follow Me reduction. Miraidon with Choice Scarf was able to put on a lot of pressure, especially being sure that we were able to outspeed most of the opposing Miraidons, which was just useful in general. And Koraidon, of course, really strong with the Clear Amulet, and with the +2 boost, able to wreak havoc. The only game that we did lose was the one game that did have quite a bit of RNG against the Cali Ice, but unfortunately that did rely on Hurricane Crit and also just missing a Leech Seed. If either of those things didn't happen, I feel like we would have probably had a really good chance of winning, but that is sometimes how Pokemon is, and I did take the best odds. Maybe I could have went for Wide Guard a bit longer with Chesnaught to be able to just force the Cali Ice to waste a few turns of Glacial, because I knew Glacial was coming out, but I was just like, okay, I eventually had to get a Leech Seed anyway. It's going to be a bit of a strange stall game with timer involved, and I don't think I had enough times to stall out the timer, and they also had Seed Bomb that they could click in the Miraidon, so didn't exactly have the best ways, and it felt like I just had to eventually commit on the Leech Seed and hoping that Chesnaught lives with 1 Glacial Lance, but it did not. Team was pretty fun. Scovillain, the Spicy Extract, being able to boost up the Koraidon, and because of Chlorophyll, it was able to outspeed the Koraidon and allow it to become a massive threat. I think it's a cool tech. I really do think it is a cool tech. It's way more impressive than I thought it was going to be, And yeah, I was able to showcase some pretty strong work in today's video. Chesnaught, of course, was also able to provide some pretty good support to the team overall. And Choice Scarlet Koraidon, I still feel weird about it, but it did help out immensely. Just the fact that we were able to have that speed advantage against opposing Maraudons is just very useful. Clefairy with After You was pretty important. Indy was the only one that I felt like was weak because we didn't bring it, but then again, we didn't face like a single Shadow Rider team, and it definitely could have provided more helpful usage there. But across the board, really strong team. But if you do want to try it out, the rental code is on your screen. Hopefully it's still available by the time the video comes out. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.